Well, guys, it looks like Shaunieoneal is back on the scene to bag her baby girl, Evelynlozada. And it looks like she's coming on the scene and she's using intimidation to possibly fire Jackie Christie. Now, y'all know now I don't know about you guys, but I have heard about these toxic work environments, especially when it comes to these reality TV stars. But honey, we have dug up some tea and some receipts on the toxic environment within the Basketball Wives franchise. And also, why is Shaunieoneal using intimidation tactics to now fire Jackie? It kind of reminds you of what she did to Tammy Roman and also what she did to OG, y'all. Now, guys, before we jump into this video, you guys know what I need you to do. I need you guys to go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And as always, I want to know what you guys think in the comments.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh?
Yes. So, guys, in an upcoming preview, we see Shaunieoneal back in the mix again, as she got in the mix when Tammy and Evelyn got into it, when OG and Evelyn got into it, and yet she is back in the mix again. We have not saw this woman on Basketball Wives all season, but here she comes for the drama yet again. So I have a really, really quick video snippet. It's maybe 6 seconds. What I said originally is that Shaunieoneal is using intimidation to try to possibly fire Jackie. So let's get into that brief conversation.
To be honest, I probably will never trust you again. You sending screenshots and saying.
So, guys, I don't understand why Shaunieoneal is even on this upcoming episode. As you guys saw in that brief clip, she is telling Jackie that she's never going to trust her again, which again, she's trying to intimidate Jackie because, girl, we have not saw you on this show all season. So to pop up, it looks crazy because you have not been a part of the storyline. So what I'm going to assume she's popping up for is because of some gossip. But again, it still does not make any sense because she has not been in the storyline at all. Other than a few, the gossip in which Jackie, allegedly had some choice words to say about Shaunie. But in my book, it doesn't even make sense because Shaunie was not a part of the storyline. So for her to pop up to again defend Evelyn is very much giving, I'm going to intimidate you, jackiechristie, similar to how she did OG. Now, going back to OG, if you guys don't recall, OG and Evelyn did not get along. And it was real simple. Evelyn does not like individuals that she cannot punk and that can actually read better than her. Because one thing that she could not get on OG is OG was faster, her words were slicker, and she was an extremely good reader. OG had never exercised any violence. She never hit anybody, but OG just wouldn't back down. And Evelyn was just mad because she just couldn't get OG. There were deleted scenes because Evelyn had fell in the bushes and they never showed that part. But OG told us exactly who Shaunieoneal was. In fact, I'm going to play a clip courtesy of Carlos King. And in this particular interview, OG told us exactly who Shaunieoneal was, or is for that matter.
Shaunie released a statement, and I think maybe also did a video, if I'm not mistaken, where she apologized to you and apologized for what was going on. Did you accept her apology, and did she ever reach out to you personally?
Are you talking about the sit down with Mark Lamont Hill?
Yes.
Okay, so that was, for lack of better word, damage control. That was not an apology to me. That was an apology for what she thinks or alleges I experienced or felt. She never once texted me, never once called me, never once had a on-camera or off-camera conversation about anything. The problem is I strongly believe if you really genuinely are sorry for something, you apologize for what you did, not what somebody feels. Because I don't feel anything. I haven't even touched the surface on how I felt. So far, I've only shared my experience. She's never called and apologized to me because she doesn't have the guts to. She doesn't have the courage to say, I was wrong in this entire scenario. Why? Because she's evil. That woman is evil. You heard it from me. I'm not the first person who said it, and I'm not the last person who's going to say it. Shaunie does not have a pure, clean spirit about her. I can say this because I've been around her. Everything that she does is for fake facade cameras. Look at how she did Tammy, her friend. Look at how she does Jackie 24/7, her friend. She's not cool. And look at how she allows her alleged associates and friends to act and then co-sign.
Now, guys, in OG's interview that she did with Carlos King, feel free to check out the full interview. Obviously, I'm not going to play his full interview on my channel. But what OG did speak on is how Shaunieoneal treated Tammy. Obviously, she mentioned Jackiechristie, which is the reason that I'm doing this video today. But there was a person that she forgot. So for one, let's get into how she did Tammy Roman, which ultimately meant, Tammy left the show. And after that reunion, she basically quit the show and she never returned. Afterwards, Tammy did come out with, a series of interviews, and she talked about the toxic environment that Shaunieoneal fosters with regards to basketball wives, y'all. But let's get into that clip, which meant Tammy actually leaving the show.
You could no longer have kids no more. Shaunie. You are fake.
Tammy,
I told you.
Hold on.
Shaunie, Tammy Roman, don't tap me.
It was no great purpose.
Well, if you guys recall the situation with Shaunie and Tammy, the way that Shaunieoneal treated Tammy was extremely heartless. What you guys saw was Tammy had shared with Shaunie about her miscarriages, with her husband, and somehow Shaunie had been, going back telling Evelyn, but somehow Evelyn was contacting the producers, which I'm sure she would have gotten that information from Shaunie, since Shaunie is also executive producer. And Evelyn was telling the producers that Tammy was lying about her storyline. But then when Tammy went to ask Shaunie, Shaunie said, basically, don't touch me. And she turned her back. So that was the reunion in which Tammy actually quit the show. But honey, it gets deeper because Tammy has not been the only person. OG has not been the only person. Jackiechristie has not been the only person. We must not forget about Brandy, honey, because I can never forget the scene when Shaunieoneal was fed up. She couldn't take it anymore, and Brandy had stood up to her and told her she was a bitch and pretty much told Shaunieoneal how she felt. Well, we know what happened because it actually costed Brandy her job. And what Shaunie told her, girl, thank you for your services. And we didn't see Brandy back on the franchise. That is until she apologized and pretty much kissed Shaunieoneal's ass.
Thank you for your services. Thank you.
Lights out, drop.
From Brandy, thank you for your services. And for JackieChristie, who has been disrespected repeatedly on this franchise when she's actually been the number one person who's been consistent. From Tammy Roman, who was pretty much disrespected at the reunion when Shaunieoneal went back to Evelyn and allegedly told some of her personal business related to her infertility issues, as well as how she treated OG and did not proper show her in a good light, but tried to make it seem like OG was so violent when OG has never on this show put her hands on anyone. However, she was excluded from the reunion and basically fired. For what? Being on a reality show and giving us great reality. Because one thing I can tell you about Tammy Roman and OG, they were great for the show. But the thing that ran them off was Shaunieoneal, her intimidation tactics, and her firing people just because Evelyn doesn't want to be told off, y'all. She don't like when she's not winning an argument. She doesn't like when she's not looked at in a good light, which is so crazy because I'm sure she reads the comments and she should know that she's probably the least fan favorite of the show. So y'all, as I always say, y'all got to let me know your thoughts. And guys, you know the drill. Now make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And guys, if you like the video, please go ahead and hit like. That's how you show that you actually like the video. And as always, guys, I want to know what you all think, of course, in the comments.